Hey, how you doing? This is RoseOpalKnits. This is a crafty channel. My name's Erica, and this is my cross-stitching diary, number 1 of 2024. So hey, how you doing? Welcome. Like I said, this is RoseOpalKnits. It's a crafty channel. I co-host it with my daughter-in-law, Daphne. She's not much of a cross-stitcher. She has one project, and I think she's had it going for over a year, and I think it's like 60 stitches by 60 stitches. So let's just say cross stitch isn't her first love. Knitting is. So she also crochets and sews a little bit, but so right now, I'm the only cross stitcher of the of us, and so I'll be the only one in the cross stitching videos. Now, my goal for these for my cross stitch diary videos is to document my daily progress every day through 2024. I plan to upload 2 videos a month, so about 2 weeks worth of video diary footage at a time. And most of the time I will be on the other side of the camera. So when I talk about the project or projects that I'm working on that day, I'll be behind the camera. You'll just hear my voice, but you'll be able to get a good view of my projects. What led me to this decision? There are a couple reasons. The first one is in an effort to make sure I make regular progress on my cross stitch projects, because cross stitch was my first love. I started cross stitching when I was 10, but I did give it up for a few years there once I learned how to knit. Now I have integrated it back into my crafty time, but knitting is usually what I go for because it's easy, it's portable. For me, it's easy, it's more easily portable. But I have all these beautiful patterns and kits that just aren't getting the attention that they deserve, and I want to work through them, finish them, and start new ones. So I decided I needed to do something to encourage me to make the time for them. So I tried to do regular Flosstube videos. That was just hard for me, getting all my everything gathered up and standing on this side of the camera for a period of time isn't that easy, especially since we do regular videos for our knitting and crochet. It was hard to work that in. I am a homeschooling mom of 4 children. Now my oldest 2 sons are adults, 27 and 20, but then I have a 15-year-old son and a 7-year-old daughter, and they're still homeschooled. Plus I'm teaching my oldest grandson how to read, so he fits into that equation as well. And we're all busy. I'm not trying to say I'm more busy than anyone else. It just didn't work for my schedule. So I thought a cross-stitch diary would work better. And it's not my own idea. I actually got the idea from Calico Whimsy here on YouTube. I love watching her monthly updates. A monthly video wouldn't work for me, just because I record the videos on my phone, and that would just take up too much storage, especially with our Rose Opal Knits knitting and crochet episodes. So twice a month is my goal. Second reason is I joined Whip Warriors on Facebook. It is my first Facebook challenge group, and I've been a member since they opened the doors in November. They've now closed them, so it is a closed group. They won't let any new members in until next November. But I have got more stitching done since I joined the group and started, the challenges, than I probably did all year, like in a month, all year long. So I'm really excited about it, and I am doing the tour. I'm traveling through Australia this year, and I'm really excited about it. And I'm keeping a binder with all my stitching information, and a daily, I'm updating that daily. So I thought a video update would be great for me too, you know, just to have to look back on, but to also share with other people who are interested. So I want to show you 3 things before I sign off here, turn the camera around and show you what I'm going to work on today. First is my whip bin. So these are my whips. I decided with Whip Warriors to do 24 and 24. So that means on any given day, I can't have more than 24 whips. I can have less, which gives me open slots for new starts, but I can't have more. And that works for me because in this bin, I have 14 whips. A whip for Whip Warriors has to have 200 or more stitches. And then I have, I think, 2 new starts. They're considered new starts because they have less than 200 stitches. So I will pick them up and add stitches to them. Once they get up to 200 or more stitches, then they can be considered a regular whip. So that leaves me with 9 spaces for new starts this year. But my goal is to finish. So I don't want to start too many. So that's my whip basket. Now here is my kit bin. These are patterns that are fully kitted up and ready to start. Some of them are like dimensions kits, like already kitted up patterns, but most of them are printed patterns or PDF patterns, you know, with the fabric and the threads. So this is what I'll be pulling from for new starts this year. And if you're new here and you don't know, I stitch on any fabric. I love Aida just as much as I love linen. Even weave's probably my least favorite, actually, out of the 3. I love Aida and I love linen, and even weaves, I stitch on it, but I don't love it. I find that I have to stitch even weave in a hoop or some kind of frame. I don't know why. It just doesn't. I hold Aida in hand and linen in hand, but unless the linen's real big. If the linen's real big and floppy, then it's just easier to put it in a hoop or a frame. But if it's a smaller piece, then I stitch in hand, usually. Not always, but usually. And I use DMC, I use overdyed. I have silks. I have not stitched with silks yet, but I have patterns kitted with silks. So that's something that I might start one of those this year. And then in here are my finishes that have not been fully finished. And my goal for this year is to finish at least once a month, preferably 2 a month. But we'll see. I'm not a big fully finisher because I don't sew. And I see a lot of beautiful finishes that involve sewing, and I don't use a sewing machine. I've tried, I just don't. But so usually, you know, I'll do something like that. This is a dimensions kit, Be a Light. Oh look, there's fuzz, dust. I'm not a big duster. And or, you know, I'll put it in a hoop like this here. Or then occasionally I'll do something like this. This is a magnet, but that's probably dusty too. Oh, I'm knocking stuff over. But all right, so that's it. I just wanted to say hello and give you some background information, my thoughts, and but like I said, most of the time I'll be on the other side of the camera and you'll just see my hands. It's January 2nd and I didn't record my stitching yesterday, but that's because the day was so busy. I didn't end up sitting down until 9 o'clock, and I only stitched 60 stitches. So today I'm picking up the same project, and I hope to put 200 stitches into it. So last night I stitched all the white here and here on this Blue Dreams by Barbara Anna Designs. And today I want to finish the white stitching here of the lighthouse and finish the hair here and start on the face. I think that's my plan. I might change it. But I have a little bit of time right now. It's a little before lunch. So I'm gonna start stitching now. I might take this project out of the hoop or the nurge frame and stitch in hand. We'll see how it goes. All right, I'll check back in. All right, it's much later in the day. It's after dinner, and I'm finally getting a chance to update my stitching progress today. I did end up stitching 229 stitches on Blue Dreams. I finished the white in that area and then started stitching on the skin. I did decide to take it out of the larger nurge hoop, and I stitched all of this up here in hand, and then I started stitching her skin in hand because I stitch faster in hand. But those stitches were looking so sloppy. I grabbed a smaller nurge hoop, which you can see the lines of here, and finished the rest of the area there in with the nurge. So I switch back and forth. That is a more accurate depiction of the color of the fabric right there. And I didn't say this before, but I am using all DMC, and this is a, let's see here, I have it attached down here, 32 count linen by To Dye For Fabrics, and the color of this fabric is orange candy. And I don't think that To Dye For Fabrics is opening their shop in 2024. I think they are closed for the year. So that's a bummer. But okay. That's today's update, and for those of you who are interested, I needed to stitch 200 stitches today, or well, I decided to stitch 200 stitches today because it's a C day and I needed to do a C day activity. And I picked a activity that's worth 200 stitches, which is sing karaoke. That's not something that I would do in real life, so I thought it would be fun to do it on the cruise, on the stitching cruise. All right, I'll check in tomorrow. Hello, it is Wednesday, January 3rd at 12:53 p.m. And today I have decided to start a new project. I'm going to start the Blue Flower Winter Blooms by Janine McGowan. I am going to stitch it on a 36 count linen, color Over the Moon, that I got from the Cross Stitch Nook. I'm using a combination of Classic Colorworks, Gentle Art, and then DMC. I think that the threads were part of the 1, 2, 3 stitch. You know how it says select all when you buy the pattern. I'm pretty sure that's what I did. I select all. And the fabric I think my mom gave me as part of my birthday gift last year. So I'm gonna stitch those or start it very soon. Check in later. Just checking in to say that I finally got my start. And that's just how life is in this household full of people. But it is after 3 o'clock. So finally got my start. I did put it in a nurge hoop just to help me start in the right spot. And now I've taken it out and I'm going to stitch more in hand. All right, it's 7:07 and I finally have a chance to record my update. I ended up stitching 220 stitches. So now this new start is able to become a whip, and I'll add it to my 24 and 24 whip album. I think I'm at 15 whips now, so I still have quite a few that I could add, but not now, at some point. All right, I'll check in tomorrow. It is January 4th at 10:50 p.m. and this is my check-in for the day. I stitched a total of 376 stitches. See you tomorrow. Good morning. It's January 6th at 8:50 in the morning, and I am here with an update. Yesterday, I stitched a total of 545 stitches, but I didn't get to check in with video because it was late when I finished and my husband was asleep next to me. So I'm checking in this morning. I am going to work more on this today so I can reach my 1,500 stitch goal for this piece. I'm about 350 stitches away, I think, somewhere around there. I am kind of regretting that I decided to do 2 threads over 2 on 36 count for this piece, but that is what the design suggested, so I went with it. Excuse me, I prefer to stitch 1 over 2 on 36 count. I mean, the fullness looks good, but then again, I don't know, it kind of looks smushed too. I don't know. It's pretty. I'm enjoying it. All right, check in later. It is 4:15 on Saturday, January 6th, and I'm just checking in. I stitched a total of 366 stitches today on this project. That gives me a total of 1,505 stitches over 4 days. And now I'm going to put it away for a little while and continue making progress on other projects. All right, talk to you later. Happy Sunday. It's January 7th at 1:15 in the afternoon, and I just sat down to stitch, picked up my stitching, and started stitching without checking in. So I am working on Witchy Wash by Raise the Roof, and I'm going to add 200 stitches into this project. That's my goal for today. I'm just going to do some of the black skirt. Should be quick and easy. I am listening to Brianna Lentz talk about Valentine's patterns, and I'm sitting in my bed, all nice and comfy. Changed out of my church clothes, had lunch, and now I'm just relaxing. All right, it's 3:50, and I have finished 202 stitches right there on the black skirt. I had to take a break and take my 2 youngest children to religious ed classes, but I got to come home and finish up the last probably 100 stitches, and now I am done. I said the name of the pattern was Witchy Wash, but it's actually Witchy Washy by Raise the Roof. And I am using all DMC floss And the fabric is an 18 count Aida from Hobby Lobby. It's the Artiste brand by Zweigart, and the color is vintage. All right. I think I'm going to do a little more stitching. Maybe 50 more stitches in a different project? I don't know. I'll check back in and let you know. All right, it's 4:02 and I've decided to put in 100 half stitches to equal my 50 stitch goal on this project. This is my oldest whip. It's probably between 20 and 25 years old. It's a dimensions kit, and I no longer have the cover photo for it. I believe it's on 14 count Aida, and I'm going to work over here on the right side with half stitches. I'm going to finish what's on that needle, and then I'm going to pull another color to work into the border as well. I stitched a total of 113 stitches for a total of 56 stitches. Hello, it is Monday, January 8th at 7 p.m. and I'm finally sitting down to stitch for the first time today. I have to do 2 C-Day events to catch up because I'm a little behind. So the first event I'm going to do is 50 stitches on this Janlin project called Joy in the Journey. And I'm going to put some stitches in right here for the beehive. I've already put the floss on my needle, so that shouldn't take too long. I'll check in soon. It's 7:20 and I stitched 50 stitches exactly. I had to frog 20 of those stitches because I counted wrong in the very beginning. I don't know. But anyway, they're done now, and I'm going to use them towards sun baking by the pool. And I think I'm going to leave this project out and put 50 more stitches in it for my next C-Day activity. Check in soon. Alright, it's 7:38 and I completed 53 stitches. So I have finished 2 C-Days, and I think that that's going to complete my cross stitching for the day. It's just been a busy day, and I think I'm going to put a little love into my knitting for the rest of the evening. All right, I'll check in tomorrow. It's January 9th at 2:13 in the afternoon, and I am going to sit down to stitch for a little while. I'm going to stitch on Our Daily Bread by La Di Da. This is where I am so far. I have 1,600 stitches that I need to stitch to get to a certain point with the Whip Warriors road trip. I don't know how many days that'll take me, probably 3 or 4. But this is the piece I've decided to put all 1,600 stitches in. And I think once I've completed that, then and show my progress, then I think this video will be over. So, and then we'll start another one. But these are the threads that I'm using. Oh, in this project: Dried Thyme, Tarnished Gold, got an extra thread there, Ginger Snap, Deep Forest, and Maple Syrup. All right, I'll check in later. I forgot to mention that I am stitching this on a 36 count fabric. I don't remember the name I want to say it's pale moon or moon something. And I am stitching it with 1 thread over 2. All right. It's 8:35, and after several different stitching sessions today, I managed to get in 660 some stitches. I think it was 668. I wrote it down, but I can't remember. All right, so I will check in tomorrow. Hello, it's Wednesday, January 10th, and it's around 3:30 in the afternoon, and this is the first time I'm getting to sit down and do some stitching. I'd like to stitch 500 stitches today, but I just don't know if I have time. I have prepped some for dinner, so that won't pull me away too long, but with a house full of people that need things, I just don't know how much stitching time I'll actually have. But I wanted to check in, and of course I'm starting where I left off yesterday, so I'll check in later. Hi, it's January 11th at 4 p.m. and I'm finally here for an update on my cross stitch. So yesterday I was able to finish 534 stitches, which is great considering I had to frog like 150 stitches. So I got a lot of time to stitch yesterday. Down in here, I had all this stitched and realized I was way off. It wasn't matching up where it was supposed to be. So I had to frog all the way back down to here. Not the berries, just the green stems. And then I restitched, and then I added the berries, and I called it a day. It was too late for an update because my husband was already asleep. So this is where I'm starting today. I have less than 400 stitches to stitch. I need 1,600 stitches to reach my goal, and I'm at 1,202 stitches. So 398 stitches is my goal today. Let's see if I can do it. Good morning. It's January 12th at 7:45 in the morning. I have a little bit of time this morning to stitch before we start school. So I'm going to try to finish up the stitches I need. Yesterday I was only able to get in 200 stitches on this piece. So I need 198 more to get to my goal of 1,600 stitches. All right, check in later. All right, it's around 9 o'clock and I finished 216 stitches up there in the leaves. And that means that this project is going away for a little while, and I'm going to be pulling out a different project a little later. All right, talk to you soon. All right, it's almost 11 o'clock on Friday, January 12th, and we have finished schoolwork today, or I should say my 7-year-old has finished her schoolwork today. My 15-year-old is still working on his school, but he doesn't need my help. So I'm going to take a little bit of time to put 200 stitches into Witchy Washi by Raise the Roof. I'm going to work on the skirt, and that will give me my stitches to sightsee. I think it's around Tahiti. Maybe it's Fiji. I don't know. I don't remember exactly. For Whip Warriors, and that shouldn't take too long. My daughter's going outside to play in the backyard with my grandkids, so they'll have fun and I'll watch and stitch. Check in later. All right, it's 1 o'clock on Friday, January 12th, and I am here with an update on witchy-washy. I added 214 stitches on the black skirt there, and that gives me the stitches I need for my beach day at Papete, Tahiti. I checked. That's where it is. So that is all the stitching I needed to complete today. And that concludes all my stitching for today, because any other free time I have today, I'm going to spend it on my knitting because it's being neglected. All right, but I just wanted to give you a couple of stats for the last 12 days. So since January 1st, I stitched on 6 different projects, 5 whips and 1 new start, for a total of 3,989 stitches. And I'm happy with that. I'm really enjoying being on the road trip with the Whip Warriors group on Facebook. And I feel like I'm going to make some great progress this year. All right. This concludes the first cross stitch diary of 2024. See you in a couple weeks.